Hello, you wonderful generates. Welcome to Season 4, Episode 21 of Monster Mates.
Yes, everybody, welcome to episode 21.
Spencer, please choose a number between 1 and 90. You have a lot of options still.
17.
17 is is a number you haven't picked yet.
Yay!
17 is
hoping
going
for
to
an-
be
a
Wyrm Girl.
I don't know how to feel about this.
Wyrm spelled W-U-R-M.
So the British way of spelling worm.
Worm.
Adding U's where they don't belong.
Hello.
Alright, kind of Naga-ish, kind of a snake girl looking. Okay.
Alright, so without going into details, what are we rating based on appearance alone?
8.
8? I'll give this a 7. Seven.
She looks cute.
I like the fierce and sexy look.
Yes.
I like it a lot. All right, let's go. And this is a short one too.
I'll read this one. You read the last two.
All right, do it.
Oh, a type of dragon that has the upper body of a woman and a long snake-like lower body. Because of the powerful, magnificent way they advance by crawling on the ground, they are also called earth dragons. Even though they are a lesser race of dragon, in terms of raw power, they are no better or worse than dragons. Their body is sturdy enough to crush boulders by ramming their covered hard scales, and they have endless stamina.
Goodness.
Oh no. However, their intelligence is extremely low.
Oh boy.
Their thoughts are simple, and basically all they think about is mating with human males. Their personalities are ferocious, and since they aggressively assault human men when seeking a reproductive partner, they are feared as monsters even more dangerous than dragons.
That's impressive.
Worms are especially dangerous once they're in a state of arousal after detecting a human male. If there's a boulder in front of them, they'll smash it and continue onward. If a man hides in a forest, they'll mow down all the trees and beeline straight to his position. Once they've spotted their prey, every obstacle is meaningless to them, and they'll never stop until they get their man. It's difficult to run, but even more difficult to fight and drive them away. So it's even said that the easiest way to stop a worm is to give her a man. Here is our daily sacrifice.
Oh goodness.
Actually, so long as they're able to catch a man, the inside of their head becomes colored with thoughts of nothing but sex and the husband they just obtained. They will either bind the man with their long body and begin sex right then and there, or bring him back to their lair and take their time. Their bodies are covered in hard scales, but the scales can rescind, exposing soft, sensitive skin, so that the abdomen and especially the front part of their upper body are very sensitive to receive pleasure from the heat and touch of a man's body.
Okay.
To them, their snake belly and bare skin are weak points during mating. In fact, they very much enjoy feeling a man with these weak points. And like a Lamia family monster, they normally coil around the man and try to glue their bodies together as closely as possible. When they assault a man, they are extremely ferocious, and the sex is also violent.
Oh goodness.
But once they've settled down with a husband, they think of their husband as a male for impregnating themselves. And they think of themselves as a female for bearing that male's offspring.
Goodness.
For that reason, they surprisingly easy to tame as long as one can take the lead during sex, exploit their weak points, and exhibit his power as a male. Though they possess the overwhelming power of the dragon family, because of their simple and meek personalities, they can become very affectionate and obedient. Additionally, like the original dragon, it's possible for them to change into the form of an enormous dragon form before the Mono Lord seized power. However, since that is inconvenient for having sex with men, and all they think about is sex, they don't assume that form if it's given a choice.
Interesting.
And that is the end of that one.
Okay, their scales can recede. Interesting.
And I'm assuming when they recede, because the picture we're looking at has like a normal, and then you have their hands, which is like dragon claws, and then they have like the scale tail, like a naga. I imagine when they rescind, it's not just like a flesh tail. It's just like not pointy anymore. It's just still like
It doesn't have like the hard scales, but more like the smooth, soft scales kind of thing.
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
Already I'm a fan.
Yes, I figured you would be a massive fan of this, and it's like for some of these, I honestly do not blame you. Like their skin is sensitive. That's amazing.
I think what I'm a big fan of on this is just the idea of you going at it and then you like find this. It's almost like a challenge. You have to find the sensitive spot. So like, right, if I poke right here above your belly button in a certain angle, and they just start squirming on the ground.
Instant erogenous zone.
Yes, that is hot.
Oh,
that
goodness.
is amazing.
Yes, absolutely.
Big fan of that.
Goodness.
I would also say, I've always liked the idea of dragon kids.
Yes.
So let me
goodness.
I'll tell you where that started.
I think I know where it started, but please explain to the audience as well.
So I was playing Fire Emblem Awakening a long time ago.
Yep.
And I love Fire Emblem Awakening. One of my favorite games of all time. And I specifically went for the dragon girl because I was like, hands down, I'm like, just give me dragon kids. I just want my kid to be fucking badass dragons. I'm like, that's awesome. So the idea of I can achieve that here is fucking awesome.
Okay.
Breed every day, all day.
Oh.
This is not just a sex one. This is a breed.
Like, literally, and along with that, literally the moment they catch a whiff with you, nothing will stop them from trying to get you then and there.
This woman is a bakery, and I will give her her daily bread.
Oh my goodness sakes. She's like that one SCP, the Shy Guy, where if you look at it, it will chase you to like the ends of the earth to try and get you similar. But instead of killing you, it wants to have sex with you, which, certainly a better alternative.
Now, say you're already in a relationship with another girl, monster girl, or whatever.
She will battle the other person to win you over.
And unfortunately, I think most times she's gonna win.
Yeah, because, like, she's a dragon.
Yeah.
She's literally a dragon. You would need like either one of the devils or like one of the eldritch creatures we've gotten before as well to beat. Like, those are the only types that will potentially beat her. Yeah. And that's it.
I'm looking at her and I'm like, I understand the downside is, say you want one. I would imagine they're pretty rare. Yeah. The dragons themselves are rare to find in normal mythology. Right. Say you're in a normal mythological world, seeing a dragon or a worm in this case, it's like, oh shit. We need to give, that's why they're like, we give an offering. Here's a man, take. Yep. Here's a man for you to fuck.
Yes, and I think specifically for the worms, because usually dragons will be in like mountainous areas and caves, much like the worm. But I think specifically for worms, they also have habitat in wetlands as well. So like swamps and stuff. Yeah. Dragons don't usually go to those kinds of locales. Yeah. So there's at least a better chance of finding a worm than it is a dragon, but still, yeah. Once she has picked up on your scent, it's finished. It's over.
I definitely enters the level of if I see a worm girl busting boulders, busting down literal 90s villain, tearing down these trees to get to me. I am scaroused at this point. I am like...
And the sex, it will be violent. They are extremely ferocious, and the sex is violent. So...
I am okay with this.
Yes, just how many bones are going to be broken by the end?
Here's the thing. If you know it's a worm girl, and you know that there are spots on her to break her first. Yes. You got to abuse those spots first.
Presuming you defeat her before she ends up breaking a few spots. Yes. You just got to be quick enough.
You got to be faster than that. You got to go for the gusto.
Oh, goodness.
Like,
because again, dragons are powerful.
Yes.
So...
And as I said, they're enough to where they're like... They're scary.
Absolutely.
I'm scaroused.
The sex would be absolutely great, but you're probably going to be either dislocating or completely breaking a few limbs in the process. More than likely.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my goodness. Let's see.
Like
that would be a positive or a negative depending on who you are.
Right.
Let's see.
Like the different colors.
Yes.
Different variations.
Mm-hmm.
So not one worm is the same.
Yeah, you'll have your green, your reds, your bronzes, etc.
Like we've had situations where it's like, oh no, this one race is all basically the same in a lot of regards.
Right.
With worms, it's this idea of no, there are different kinds of dragons, there are different kinds of worms, there are different colors, there are different shapes, different. So I think you have. Yeah, I don't know if you have your choice. But you definitely have...
You get a decent variety.
You get a variety, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm a fan. Because I already like Snake Girls.
Right, yeah.
I already like Lamias a lot. This is just in my own wheelhouse of I'm a fan.
This is a stronger version. Well, physically stronger version, rather.
It's a scarier version.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, I wonder how big they are.
That's a good question. Goodness, they would probably be bigger, like both taller and like just more beefy than regular Lamia, since they are part dragon.
Yeah.
Like these are basically species-wise, the worms are like the granddaddies of like snakes.
Mm-hmm.
So they're probably gonna be like just bigger in general in terms of size. So you might find yourself a giantess worm for all we know. My goodness sakes. That look you're giving me just is telling me that this is going even higher than I originally. Yes.
Yes. Right. I'm a fan of the giantess worm.
Fair enough. Oh my goodness. But yes, if you're not into women who are taller than you or bigger than you, then
you're cowards. Cowards.
Then you may not entirely like this. Also, their intelligence, that could also be a negative. Their intelligence
that's a positive.
Is extremely low. If you don't like the Unga Bunga type ladies, this is not for you.
I forgot to mention about their fucking... Okay, so, oh my god.
And endless stamina. Endless stamina.
That one worries me.
Yes.
Because I at some point you'd have to say, you are worm, I am but man. I need to rest.
You are literally going to be drained dry every day. Every day.
At some point, I hope, like, if you do become Unga Bunga husband, you can say no, and then you start poking at their erogenous nodes and be like, down, and you're like, ah.
I mean, what's it? Don't they? I forget.
They fall.
Yes. No. Do snakes hibernate? No, they don't hibernate. Or no, they go. Do they?
They don't. I don't think they hibernate. Okay. I think they do like a variation of it, but I don't think they go hibernation full style. They shed.
True, yes, they also shed, which I imagine for a dragon that is going to be quite the thing, quite the cleanup for all that. Yes. I
think they do hibernate, but I think they do. I think it's certain kinds.
Yeah, it might be.
So they don't hibernate, but during the winter, they basically become less active.
Okay.
And they basically become lazy.
Okay,
Big,
so you may have some resting period during the winter. That's when you would have some resting period, at least.
You gotta build up your stamina during the winter while she's just, like, under the covers, like, come here, fuck me. And you're like, no, honey, I need to train.
That way, at least when spring and summer come around, you'll be at peak performance.
Yes.
Hopefully. With endless stamina, it's kind of hard to mitigate that. But either way, yes, if you're not into Unga Bunga type ladies, you will not be into this. But I think with that, we can give our final ratings. So let's hear it, big man. What's your rating for this? I want to hear those 2 digits.
Oh, one other thing we have to cover.
Yes.
They can turn into a dragon.
Yes, they can turn into an actual for real dragon, but most of them aren't going to do that. Considering they just want to have sex like constantly.
But say you needed a dragon for any point.
That's instant, like transportation with your wife.
Yeah. I think that's pretty fucking cool.
All right.
All right, so
Let's hear. I want to hear those 2 digits.
it's a 10.
Yep, there it is.
It's a 10.
There it is. I knew it.
I can't think of I can think of one downside.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm already with another monster girl, this shows up and goes mine,
it's going to be a raid event. Like if say we've collected all the monster girls, we've given like a plus 7.
Shark girl,
yeah,
snake girl, etc. You with the Mad Hatter.
Everyone who's been like a +7 at least, or a +8 at least.
Yeah.
Trying to basically do like an MMO raid event against this girl to like be like, hey, no, you don't get to be the only one here.
Yeah.
Type thing. That is going to be quite the spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be interesting. And potentially, if it happens in a town, that town is gone.
That town will be destroyed.
Gone.
At least a quadrant of that town will be destroyed from fighting her as she's busting down children's homes and orphanages.
Yes, that is definitely one drawback. That if you're in a relationship already, then this is not gonna end well.
And then as well as the town needs to have like, all right, we need volunteers to say if a worm shows up, I will sacrifice myself.
You throw yourself in, and then I
offer myself as tribute,
and then you get taken away into the cave.
But other than that, everything about this is in my wheelhouse.
Okay.
I'm like, there are personal preferences and things that I'm like, I wish blah 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 blah. But all around, there's no negative for me on this one. I gotta go for a 10.
I'm going to...
Those are rare. I don't get those easy.
I know. I'm going to say... This is tough. I'm debating between a 7 or an 8, but I think in the end, I'm going to go... I'm going to go with a 7, honestly.
Tell me why.
Yeah, the only reason why it's not an 8 is I feel like I have a pretty good amount of stamina myself. However, compared to someone with endless stamina and who only wants violent sex unless I'm able to disarm them, as it were, I'm not going to have any sort of energy for anything else for the entire day. Good luck trying to wake up for work tomorrow. Good luck trying to get those games in with the boys when you're dead tired because your dragon waifu literally just sucked the soul out of you through the other head.
Where I'm hoping for this, like you're totally right.
Yeah.
But where I'm hoping, and this is a hope.
Yes.
Because if I couldn't get this, it would become a 9 for me. Which is the idea of...
This would be a wake-up call for you to get it to more stamina training in?
More stamina training, as well as disarming training.
Oh, yeah, true.
Or be able to get her a cage of some kind. Be like, all right, we've had sexy time. Get into your cage. I'll open it back up when I'm done with the boys.
You are going to have to pay a king's ransom to find a cage that will contain her. You would have to pay you would have to pay America's national debt to find something strong enough to keep her contained. You would, like, goodness sakes.
I don't think there is anything that can contain her.
I don't think so either. So.
I say kid, I'm like, no, she just busts through it. I don't think you could stop her.
Oh, goodness. You know what? I did think of one potential thing. It's technically cheating, but... you find like a vibrator and you tape the vibrator on the one spot she's weak to.
Cheating in that regard.
That's technically cheating, but that is a possibility you could do.
You just have it permanently taped onto her, and like, you can never take this off. And she's like, "Fuck me!" You're like, "No, I'm doing something. It's important." And then she's like, "No." Takes your dad, and you go, "No," and you pull out the button and you press it, and she's like squirming on the ground, like, "Ah!"
Potentially that could backfire because that could just rile her up more.
Oh god,
that
she fights through it.
Yeah, that could backfire tremendously.
Oh god, it probably would. Honestly,
either way, this is a 7.
That's still a 10.
This is, don't get me wrong, this is absolutely fantastic. This is great, but I gotta have a 7 because I want as much as like just hour-long sex sessions sounds like fun. I do want to be able to have the energy to do other things afterwards.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. It's just
goodness.
it hits so many other points for me. Now the stamina thing is, and I've probably been contradicting myself a little bit with previous things where I've always said I'm scared of the stamina because they can monster girls have power humans in every regard in that remark.
Right.
It's just this hits every other part.
This
for
hits
me.
too many positives for you to overlook the negative.
Yeah, and the negative isn't even that bad.
Yeah, fair enough. But, ladies and gentlemen, what would you rate a worm girl? And what color variation or elements would you get your worm girl in?
Please tell us in the comments down below. As well as what color would you want your girl to be?
Indeed. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to give it a like. If you want to see more, please consider subscribing. And if you want updates on the show, you can follow us over on Twitter, or you can follow me individually. And be sure to give some wonderful love and support to the amazing artists who did the art for this episode.
Have a good day. Bye.